Go live. And we live. And we live. And we live. And it's sunny today. A whole lot sunnier than it was yesterday. Yesterday was very, 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 very wet. Girl, don't start this morning. It was a wet day.
See? Why your mind got go?
Yesterday was a wet day. A good night. But not a good night. Pardon us. Thank you for joining Coffee and Conversations. Yay. If this is your first time tuning in, I am Precious, and this is
Nikia.
And we are favorite cousins who decided to wake up and make it count.
Make it count, honey.
And invite you into the conversations. And so we're just talking about whatever. There's no specific rules. We definitely always have a topic. So grab your coffee, grab your robe. I am the stay-at-home mom turned entrepreneur, and Kia is a
corporate America turned entrepreneur as in 8 years now. So
yes, honey.
And right now I'm just chilling. Okay.
That part.
Enjoying my coffee and conversations with my favorite boo cousin. And we said, you know what? Since you come up the block and we be doing this every morning, let's just let the people in enjoy the conversation. Because I'm telling you, we have a ball in here, okay?
That part.
So now y'all get to see how we do
in the kitchen.
Okay.
And so we right up the street. And let me tell y'all, dreams do come true since we was little kids. And I mean little kids. When we was sharing the bed. When we
shared everything.
And then it was like, one day when we grow up, we're going to be neighbors. We're going to live next to each other.
Right next to each
other. We definitely said that, and we definitely did it. So before, I used to be able to walk out of my front door, and she could walk out her back door, and we could wave at each other. But about 2 years ago, that part.
Somebody, hey, girl! Looking out my kitchen window, talking.
And since we family, she knew when family, like, girl, family's here, just come up the street. It was just one-stop shop. It was so easy. But it hasn't gotten too hard because we just relocated right up the street. So where we was on a different name, now we on the same name. So
same name.
Like she said, we was getting up. I was coming down here and we was cracking up, talking in the morning, getting our coffee, trying to get our day started. And we decided, well, what if we make this a coffee and conversations type of thing? And we actually go live and invite you guys into our minds. Yes. Early morning minds, right? And so
get your coffee, your tea, and bring your favorite mug, whatever mug you use. Sometimes people got favorites, but mine says, how do I take my coffee seriously? Very seriously. Yes, I do.
She does take her coffee very seriously. She is a coffee connoisseur, shall they say?
Not a connoisseur, because I don't know about different coffees. I just need some coffee. And I don't like all coffees. I don't like Starbucks. It's too potent for me. I don't know. I'm not that deep into it.
When I am drinking coffee, I am definitely a cappuccino type of girl. Mm-hmm. It gotta. When I say I never used to drink coffee at all, and then one day, my hubby got me a cup of coffee from the gas station, but he used the cappuccino and he used the French vanilla. When I tasted, I was like, "Oh, this is some good hot chocolate, y'all." He was like, "No, that's coffee." And I was like, "Are you serious?"
Did you say it was hot chocolate?
That's what it tastes like. But when I looked at it, it tasted. Then I went in. Anybody know me? I am Miss Budgetnista.
You the Budgetnista?
Miss Budget. Okay, so I'm like, who's paying?
How much is coffee?
And then look, it was only like $3. Who's drinking that a day? That's what I thought, right? Listen, that's what I'm saying. I was about to get to that Starbucks story. So I'm thinking, who's drinking $3 cups of coffee, right? At that time. So I went to the grocery store and found everything that he put in it. And it cost me maybe $5. Now it would probably be $10. We know the price is crazy. But I drank coffee for a week and not 4 days. So correct. He got a good one when he got me, honey. I'm very frugal, shall we say.
Come on now.
I'm gonna make $1 holler.
With your money. You gotta be smart with your money. See, it's not being frugal. It's not. That means being smart with your money.
Now we beauty queens. Good morning, Tammy. Woohoo! I like the way that overlay looks. Thank you. Isn't it cute?
Melissa, and the base.
Base with the media.
Base.
So listen, I'm laughing because I put my robe on. I told Kia when I got here, I said, boo. And when she came, got me, because, honey, I thought I was coming to her, but she had to come to me. That's another story.
Thank God
there was ice
on the same street.
Thank God, because there was ice on the car, and I was like, I ain't got time to heat this up. Y'all know I was barely baking. I said, I woke up this morning to help the boys because, it was game day, and just like young men, they're like knocking at my door at 6:20. I'm like, hello? Look, hello, who is it? And they're like, we need socks, or we need this, or we need that. That's what I was trying to get in there. I center it. I was trying to figure out how to, and I couldn't understand why I was, So I'm like, you need socks, and we need this, and we need that. So I'm running around, I'm getting all this stuff, needless to say. And then I was up. And then I was laying in the bed next to Chef Ron, and next thing I know, I'm talking and I doze off. And thank God I had an alarm set, because then I woke up, I'm like, all right, I just got into good sleep. I'm going to give it 20 minutes. So I'm like, look, when I woke up, I text you like, don't you worry about coming to get me. I'll be up there by 8:15. So like by 8:20, I'm like, Kia, come get me, girl.
I was like, and I left my phone upstairs on a charger. And I was like, see, thank God I'll take a shower.
Thank you, Queen. Oh, that's Melissa. I shared all the pages, including the original Precious pages.
Look,
thank you,
my love. On it, honey. Melissa, you is like the manager, the management of social media person. Like, come on, Queen. You be on it. I love it. I love a person who be on it.
She's the symbolism that sharing is caring, and showing up in your best self, in your service, however that can be. So
a true servant of service. Okay.
That part. Giving to receive, right? And so it's like we always need that. We always need somebody that's gonna support you, like you support them, right? And so sometimes it's one-sided, but we need it two-sided. So she's definitely a fool.
Someone who believes in what you're doing and aligns with it in the mission.
Period.
Because it makes it so much more like we gotta
enjoyable.
Like come on now.
And like you said, it's intentional, right? So to have people that literally
change your lives, man.
That part.
It's for a purpose.
Yes, honey. Get your what the F is your mustard seed, faith or fear, honey. It's in the it's going through the edit. No, I gotta go in.
Oh, you gotta go in.
Yeah, I gotta go in today. I was giving y'all a day to go, start looking. You chapter 5 good? Are you enjoying it?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good to know.
I said, they gonna enjoy this one, honey. That thing deep, but yeah.
Anyway. So I got my amazing editors. I have they're commenting, looking through. So I have 3 of them right now. So it's Kia, it's Essence, and of course Queen Melissa. And so it's like, as soon as that's ready, y'all be up and running by next week. So I'm excited. I love you, my sisters. We love you more. Yes, get your pre-order in, because like I said, if you get your pre-order in by the time it is out in February, at the end of February, I'll be having a virtual where people get to actually ask any question. And trust me, when you read that book, you're going to want to have a conversation with me. And you're going to want that, the underneath, the underline. I expose some scars. I was very transparent. I was very vulnerable. And so I'm used to doing poetry, and I'm used to talking. I'm used to, just giving out of my gift, right? And making words make sense. But this time was more of a explaining to you how I came up with what the F is of my mustard seed, and how I had to activate faith so many times to get to where I am today. So
as we all do. I mean, if you live in life and going through the journey of life, everybody's journey is a little different, of course. So you got to question yourself. What are you operating out of? I mean, y'all definitely want to get this book, because it's a must-have in your library. And for those who are watching and you look at the replay, I feel like it's important to have that library of book to keep your mind stimulated and going. Whether you're an ebook person, some people like to listen to words.
Yes.
So they're a virtual ebook, what do you call that? Audio listener. Some people listen to books in their car. Some people need the physical book to hold them and put highlights and stuff in and their little notes. So I just feel like reading is important for your mind, to keep your mind stimulated. And definitely, what are you reading?
What are you reading?
What are you getting out of it?
Remember, your what is your wisdom hat. So your what is important. Your what is how you're going to express where you've been through and what makes you evident, right? But I was saying all that to say is that as long as you're in pre-order, that conversation in February will be free. But once the books are released and is no longer pre-order, there will be tickets for that event. So that would just be your pre-order gives you a VIP mustard seed free seat in that conversation because you took initiative, that you sowed a seed in preparation and waiting for what was coming. And so thank everybody who supported me, who let me know that the book was worth writing by your pre-orders, because at the end of the day, it's all in my head. I'm like, before I put this on paper, let me make sure people want to know what the F my mustard seed is, right? And so
let me be the example and give my example first. So now you could search your head and see what yours is, and now begin to, see what are you operating out of and start choosing going forward to consciously make more of a conscious effort to really go more on that faith, because that's how we're operating and things get done.
That's right.
When you put the action to it because you're determined to get it done.
And as we say, well, I made an acronym. And so faith is freedom after insight to hire yourself, myself. Depends who's talking.
Because only you can make it happen.
That part.
You got to hire you. If a company could hire you because they see some qualities and some abilities and skills that you have to make their company better and to grow their company, then you have to hire your daggone self, because you are the one with the skills.
That part.
So hire yourself to get stuff done. Like, oh my God, that acronym is, I love it.
Period. And because they said free faith without works is dead, right? And so it require you to do the works toward you becoming who you need to be. Like even with my children, in my academy, I See Me Academy, their motto is, or slogan is, I can only be the who in me that I can see, right? And so it's identifying self. I can only be the who in me that I can see. Kids love rhyming words.
I can only be
the who in me.
The who in me
that I can see.
That I can.
That's right. So I can only be the reflection of what I can see. So,
girl.
Yeah, so that's the kids' version. Ours is.
I can only be.
What is ours?
The who I.
The closer I get to, and now for the adults, I was saying is the closer I get to me, the better I'm able to see who I was called to be. So first you got to identify for the kids. Whoa. And then when you're an adult, you got to understand you are called, right?
Woo, because you already see who
right.
you
so
are.
You going to answer the phone.
Younger, yes. You see who I can only be who I see in me. So you identify who you are. So nobody telling you who you are from young.
From young. And then once you're an adult, because you have already seen who you are, now you can answer the call.
Girl, you be giving me chills.
So if now that I know who I am, and now I'm adult, when the situations and stuff come to me, guess what I can do? I know how to answer the call because I'm in position, right? And so that's all it does. It's about leveling up. So it doesn't matter if you're a kid, I can deal with you there. I can deal with you as an adult. We deal with relationship. It's just mentoring the mindset, going from survivor to soulvivor. And many of us are stuck in that place, which is why the topic today is, do you know how special you are? Do you know how special you are? Because we could tell ourselves what we ain't, but how many of us tell ourselves what we are? So,
man, come on, Nicole. She giving me chills over here.
Let's look. Girl, I'm about to go to this game.
Yo, she's deep, y'all.
Good morning, Nicole. Good morning. Thank you, Melissa. Let's leave that up there for a second. Faith is freedom after insight to hire yourself. Think of that yourself is in parentheses where every word is taken, right? And so you got to remember that you decide that. So the kids is, I can only be the who in me that I can see. And the adults are, what did I say? The closer I get to me, the better I'm able to see who I was called to be. And so it's always a relationship with self. And so God says, treat your neighbors as you first treat yourself. And so if I don't think I'm special, how am I going to treat you like you special? So we expect from people, we can see how they treat themselves. Woo! And we like, oh, I could, if that was me, I wouldn't do that. But you're expecting something greater from them than they're giving to themselves. And so it's no way. And so we get in our feelings and not our healing because we don't understand that we are processing into the promise that is us.
See,
period.
This is what the world needs. This is what the
Nicole,
world
she talking about something. She give us all chills. I guess she agreeing with you.
She does, because I'm like, if you get this, you're unstoppable.
That's the word.
You're unstoppable.
Let me get this stuff out of this book. That part.
If you get it from young, because you can only be what you see in yourself.
Period.
And when you're young, you're trying to understand who you are. You're going through maturity and all of that stuff, all these outside influences. You trying to decide what you like, what you don't like versus being influenced and going along and being a follower.
Yes, that part.
Because you can get older and become a follower because you still haven't learned who you are.
Oh my God, I almost left something out that I gotta add to the book that you just made me think about it. So I'm definitely gonna add. But it's in tag. Do I have it? Oh my God,
crazy,
I don't have
y'all.
it.
She is so deep with it.
Share something with
but
y'all.
The world needs it. And then you say, how special are you? Well, you're one of a kind.
So that's what the question is. I want to ask you, do you know how special you are? But before you answer that question, I'm gonna read the children's book. And then after you hear what is said in the book, I want you to reflect on that and ask yourself, do I see myself as that person? How do I feel about me? And so, Key, I guess since we got two books, we could be like school today. So I read a page, you read a page, I read a page, you read a page. So as the pages are the same, the words are the same. The only thing that changes from the princess and the Prince book would be the colors, right? And so if you look closely, you'll have the girls version in which my goddaughter is the, come on now, illustrator. Kia's daughter
is the boys version.
That was my first ever goddaughter. She's the first one. I have about 5 now.
Together, and she illustrated the book for her godmother with the pictures of the people's in the pictures,
yes,
right? The king and the queen.
We definitely
and the prince and the princess.
All that good stuff.
You see what you could create when family come together? Isn't that pretty, y'all? The blue for the boy and the black for the girl.
Remember, I can only be the who in me that I can see. Had she not known that she could draw, that she was an illustrator, I wouldn't have went to her to say, listen, goddaughter, you want to do a project with me? Oh, I don't know. You got this. This is what I want. I can give you the thing, right? And so sometimes when we talk about your asset or liability, like yesterday, the question is, you're an asset when you can pull out the best in somebody else as well. Remind them what they have. Push them to that next level so that they can see who God sees in them too, right? And so it's like, don't be jealous of what I'm doing, because guess what? I ain't special. We all on the same level of special. Is as special as you see you and how you choose to show up and what he's already given you. And so special is seeing you, being you, so that he can use you. Come on now.
Come on now.
See you, be you, so that he can use you. That he is God. G-O-D. Capital G-O-D.
All got something, honey.
That part. That's the planted mustard seed, period. That's it. That's how we grow it.
Seed. Yes.
You can't change what you are, but you can always change who you are. That part. And that's the gift.
That's true.
Right, Chef Ron? That's the gift. The gift is choice. And so that's why God says renew your mind daily. You can wake up today and decide I'm enough. You can wake up today and decide I'm going to stop thinking about that dream.
I was going to say, I might have been born a boy, but I want to be a girl.
Right. Exactly.
Come on.
They go that far into making decisions. Let's call a thing a thing.
Let's talk about it.
So if you can change your sex, you can surely change your mind.
This is how I was born and came out by who I choose to be. Mm-hmm. I could always change who you are, right? Who you are. So come on now.
But it goes back to I can only be the who in me that I can see, right? And so now I want you to see me as I see me.
So respect that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't judge me. You just gotta respect that. It's not for you to judge.
That part. A wonderful book for the kids. You better say it. Right. And so that's the thing. We're so busy worried about what everybody else is becoming. And we're forgetting
all of that
about
stuff. It has nothing to do with that. That's just your opinion.
Yeah.
And everybody has one, and it's not law.
Yeah. Well, you know, they would fight about God's laws. And that's where it becomes a dilemma, because God said the greatest of this is love. And I think we forget that when we're trying to point out each other's afflictions, right? So it's like, love is the greatest of all. Love is patient. It adores all things.
Come on, you sound like a marriage vow.
But I mean, but that's biblical. That's what it say.
Come on now.
Right, they don't even have to make that up. That's what it says in the book. And that's why I always point out when God speaks about love in the Bible, the first line of the statement is love is patient. He could have started anywhere. But before I took you on a journey of how you grow it, how you do it, how you nurture it, how you mold it, how you keep it, how you serve it, I want you to know first and foremost that you got to be patient with love, because love is a process. It is look, Jesus was love, and he had to go through the process to prove his love, and he proved it, right? And so the process is the proving that love grows everything.
To show how much love he has.
That part.
For everyone.
So
selfish.
That's it. Selfish. We gotta do what we gotta do. Yes, love conquers all. Period.
It really does.
Period.
It really does.
Even when you met, I always said, listen.
It does.
Somebody else's murderer got a best friend. A murderer is somebody else's best friend, right? And so it's like, let's talk about it, right?
Still people.
And so from your perspective, he ain't the best person, but from somebody that loved them, he's enough. She's enough. And so we gotta be real intentional about recognizing that it starts and ends with us, but only when we know how special we are, right?
You gotta first know how special you are, because you're one of a kind. We are each one of a kind.
I like that now, Chef Ron. He ready to go live now. He said, connect with no offense. Come on now. Correct with no offense. Like when we talking about, we don't, our job is not to offend thee.
Absolutely.
Because if I don't open you up to receive
someone without being offended.
That's right.
Correct.
That part. Correct with no offense. Yeah.
No feelings involved. No emotions. They be like, it's no emotions and money.
Yeah.
Come on now. Correct.
That part.
I'm telling you.
I tell you, we be going already. It's 22 minutes. So good. So yes, what we're gonna do now is, as we were saying, we're gonna read the book, and then we're gonna catch up on. Then we'll keep the conversation going, because we can talk. When y'all come in, we can talk, and we be like this, because this is how coffee and conversations go. It's like, what are we talking about today? Whatever comes to the mind. So today is, do you know how special you are? How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind, written by Precious L. Paulin, illustrated by Sierra B. Dixon. Okay, I'm gonna go into find the beginning. I was about to read y'all the forwards and the dedication, but you're gonna have to get the book yourself for that. But let me tell you,
gotta get this.
There is a poem in here that one of my forwards, Melissa Price, did a poem for me, and that's when I found out that she was an amazing poet, because when she sent over the forward and I read the poem, I was crying. I think I cried every time I read this poem, for at least, because I'm always writing to everybody else and doing poems, and I can get everybody's like, oh, they're so emotional and they feel it, and I'm blessed to be used. I'm glad it's a gift, but it just comes effortlessly to me. But to receive the same type of words and honor, like, so I did a poem. I celebrate my husband. I celebrate your husband. I celebrate your child. I celebrate God. I celebrate Easter Sunday. I'm celebrating everything through my words. And that's the thing that God gifted me with. So to be given a poem that celebrates me through its words was quite it was definitely a full circle moment for me. And in that moment I got to understand the power in my gift. because you really don't understand it until it's coming back to you. So that was definitely a full circle moment that got me even more grateful for the gift that is poetry.
Because you know what I think about, even when you get a good card.
Oh my goodness.
And if you know the person who gave it to you, it ain't fake or something like that. You know, you just get a card. But when you read the words of the card and you think about the person, you start crying. You can't, Chad, my dad be giving me cards and I be just boo-hooing. I can't even finish reading.
I don't want to put Chef Ron business out there, but let me tell you something.
Oh my God, I know he feels this way. Like, you know what I mean?
When them kids during Father's Day and they always do, everybody gets their own card and write a different message in it. And every year you're going to have the ones that are comedians, but still have very essential points. You're going to have those that are like just straight to the core. And so what's so funny is I think the reigning champ is Ray Vaughn. He has a way with his emotional side and like bringing forth his thing. So even big men will go in it, but that Ray Vaughn, he just
because he's
pulls
so
at your
he's
heart
rough,
string.
but he's
so
cuddly, so lovable. Like he's so like you'll be like, just come here,
and
babe.
and you just read his words, and you're like,
he's just so sweet. But you can't fuck with him though.
No, you cannot. He about that life. He about that life. But
I ain't no killer, don't push me. And that's why it's just like, I ain't no killer, but you see it. All I can see. When they hear like,
I be telling Chef Rod all the time. Let me tell you something. Where did they come from? No. Them last three, all three of them Sagittarius. I don't know about if y'all do sides, but them three Sagittarius.
Tutu ain't no killer, but she running. I'm sorry. I'm ready to go. Okay, see y'all ain't no name.
That's why everybody thinks that
I'm like, oh God,
Nevaeh is the oldest, which she's not. I mean, Serenity is the oldest. Serenity is Huddy. Boy, you silly girl. You are so silly.
Tutu be looking like I ain't no killer, but don't push me.
I know about definitely. Girl. I'm telling you, Ray, honey. And Melissa does such sweet things, like when Ray, you know, he just had to recover from knee surgery last May. He, you know, hurt his knee, so he just came back this season for basketball and starting and everything. So super proud of him. But when he got hurt, and I was like, yeah, you know, he got surgery. Melissa was like, oh my God, what is he like? She literally stopped by. She brought him for his ice cream. He loves Slim Jims. She brought him Slim Jims, and I'm just like, man, and he felt so special. And sometimes we forget. He needed that. So yes. So when she says I love Ray with all the green, she showed herself approved. She loves Ray.
He's a little snuggle bunny. I like that snuggle bunny.
She loves him and she shows it, right? When I said, don't tell me sorry, show me sorry. Don't tell me thank you, show me thank you. Don't tell me you love me, show me you love me, right? Oh yeah, every surgery needs treats. Period. You need to be rewarded for that.
Going through that
process, bravery. So okay, like I said, see how easily we get sidetracked. Back to where we was. Okay. Back to the basics.
Yeah,
back to the
book. Give y'all. Y'all gonna understand how special you are.
Okay, so I'll do the first two, and right after me, you go to the next two, and we just go in that order. Gotcha. So, how special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find. Wow.
You have a beauty that the world has never seen, and knowing that is the core of your self-esteem.
Come on, man.
Come on, look at
you have something special that no one can do. Plus, the world would be missing a piece without you. There is a light inside that gets brighter day by day when you nurture yourself with what you choose to say.
How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find.
Words have power and the ability to provide a sense of peace for the you inside. You are a soul that is longing to hear the beat of your drum, and the more you love yourself, the louder the sound becomes.
There is an inside voice that whispers your name. And to honor yourself, you must stay in your lane.
How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find.
A lane was created to get you to your dream so you can become something the world has never seen.
Come on now, you're one of a kind.
Come on now.
What you have is so divine. Did you forget I said you are one of a kind?
You are amazing beyond measures when you recognize who you are, and that one essential piece is the essence that gets you far.
How special are you? When you're one of a kind. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find.
No matter what life throws you, understand you were built for the ride, and everything you need was already placed inside.
No one can ever love you more than the love that is waiting inside of your core. So tell yourself daily, I choose me no matter what, and you will begin to fill your empty cup.
How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over, but another you I would never find.
Your mission is to see your beauty in all that you are, for that turns on a light to your undying scar. Because when you choose to shine, you can brighten every room. Understanding when light enters, darkness can never loom.
Nope. The world is a puzzle waiting on your masterpiece in order to complete. And the moment you master your piece, you can finally take a seat. How special are you? You're one of a kind. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find.
Take a seat at the table which says I have showed up in my assignment because my mind, body, and soul has come into alignment. Love yourself 365 days of the year and watch how you win. For greatness is finding the power within.
Know your worth in all that you do, for destiny is waiting, and everything you dream of will start elevating. How special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. I could search the world over, and another you I would never find.
The end.
Man, listen.
So,
honey,
I hope that many people listen to this replay, and even more so, that you sponsor a hungry child's soul. If you look at the top, I have the LinkedIn tree to connect to the Healing app. And right now we are starting a campaign to feed 1 million children's soul in 2023. 1 million kids is not a lot of kids. And so the object is to really change the way they see themselves, right? Because when you think about this, if you see the imagery, it is actually the princess listening to the queen that princess is becoming, or the prince looking at the king that he is becoming. And the king is telling them through the reflection that life is going to get hard. Things are going to get tough. But you need to know that you're one of a kind, and the world will be missing a piece without you. And so we need to stop suicidal thoughts. We need to stop bullying. We need to celebrate each other in order to grow with one another. And it starts with our mindsets. These are the seeds that are planted in us that dictates how we treat ourselves, right? Because if I can only be the who in me that I can see, and I can't see me, then I don't feel that I need to be anybody, right? And so we want them to value breath. We want them to value life. And it starts by you being an example. And that's why I said, if you are everybody, this little kid in me needed to hear this book, right? Because I had to be reminded. The little kid in the Kia needed to be reminded. The little child in you have to be reminded that God didn't make a mistake, that he chose you.
No matter what happens through the journey of life, you can bounce back. You can get back up, because how special are you? Well, you're one of a kind. If we search the world over, another you we would never find. Because we're all unique and different. So when I say powerful, every household needs to have this book, whether you got a child in it or not. You that know part. A child that needs this
that
book.
Part.
Because when we nurture the child, knowing how special they are, and when we talk about the suicide rates, and when we talk about these kids committing suicide because they're being bullied, because they just trying to fit into the mold of what's going on with everybody, if they knew how special they were, none of that would matter. They would have enough of themselves to love themselves. Right? So when I say standing behind a mission, this mission is definitely something that the world needs.
Yes.
They've always needed it. And mental health, like we always say, is like, oh my God. This campaign is something that we need everybody. You hear me? Everybody to get on the bandwagon with, because you want to sow into something that matters. Okay? And when I say something that matters, I'm all about financial, because I feel that matters.
The average pair of a Jordan is how much money?
Jordan
for the kids. We gonna talk about what it is mentoring the mindset. So let's just say you paying $250 for a Jordan.
Okay,
that's one pair of sneakers for one child, and I'm gonna divide that $250 by $15 for the book.
$15.
That equals 16 lives, souls that would be saved if you invested that. So $250, one pair of sneakers. One pair of sneakers can change 16 people's lives. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is the importance of teaching them what is value. Investment, right? Investing in what's meant to be for you. And so we're teaching them the wrong things when we're not building their mindsets, when we're not pre-qualifying them.
We spending money on everything else, and we got to start spending money on things that matter. And what I always talk about is needs and wants. This is something that you need. The kids need. Do they need the Jordan? We just went through Christmas, and we're going to go through Christmas as long as we live every year.
Gucci bag. Right? What will you invest today? Your lunch. Say this week, I want to sponsor 5 kids this week. What would that cost you to change 5 kids? For somebody
a day.
That part.
But when you talk about cost and value, we was just talking about that with the eggs. What's the cost versus the value?
Yeah.
The value of this is limitless. Okay. Rondell said, "What did y'all bounce back from?" Man, listen. Let me tell you something. I've been through an abusive relationship with my daughter's dad, with Sierra's dad. I was in an abusive relationship since I was 16 years old.
And that's still a kid.
I thought I knew I was special, but I mean, when you go through something and people have a mental control over you, and you're like, "How the hell did I get here?" If I would have had this poured into me, outside of, family and what I don't see, I didn't see the abuse, but if I would have knew and had this book poured into me continuously and knew how special I was, man, listen, couldn't nobody control me. My hands Could nobody beat on me?
That part.
Because I know how special I am. Like, really know how special I am.
And I want to say I bounced back as a child. I can go to different things, but I think the one that was most affected me the most was me being molested as a child by my own father, right? And so that it was like a catch-22, right? Mm-hmm. Because you want to love the person that gave you life, but he's the same person that hurt you. So I had to bounce back from that, right? From value, right? From knowing that the who may kill me, but the what will heal me, right? Is this wisdom is my ability to realize that I went through that thing, right? That was my valley moment to the mountaintop. But I can't change the things that happened to me. But I can happen to life after it happens to me. And so making these decisions, and that's why I'm so serious about making sure, even with the ICME Academy, that kids have a place to come to voice themselves. Because a lot of times we don't share them things with our parents, right? We don't share the stuff. Hell, it was my parent, right? So I was caught between a rock and a hard place. And so even if you get the book, you'll realize that I write in there how hard it is to balance that feeling value and, knowing your worth and having faith to move past it, especially even with my kids, right? Being able to release them, because I'm so afraid and fearful that you can't trust nobody, because when it's somebody that's supposed to protect you, and that's why perspective is everything. And so we can't assume all of our definitions is the same. And so I know grace and I know gratefulness and I know all of those things, but I also know what it required for me to be here. And so when I speak about how special you are, when I tell you it doesn't matter what you've been through, that you can get over anything, it's because it is a process. But if you make up your mind that you matter, if you make up your mind that you're enough, if you make up your mind that doesn't define who you are, you can absolutely change the trajectory of your life. Because look, I have an loving husband. I have 5 amazing kids. I have some of the best friends I could have picked, right? Now in the family, we don't get to pick them, but we get to operate through them, right? And so it's balance. And so, for me, I had to bounce back from that. And I wish I had this book when I was younger. But you know what I did have? At the age of 12, I had the gift of poetry. I knew my gift. And I think and that's why I do programs with the kids now, so that you can tap into the thing that makes you stand out. Because had I not known that God had chosen me and gave me a special gift to use words to heal people's minds and souls, I would have felt like I was nothing. But because I couldn't deny what my gift was making room for, it made me get over it and not dwell on it and not allow it to get me stuck in it. Now, I was bound in other areas, ways, and that's another conversation.
And push your gift out, to do something with it and not harbor your gift. Like people are dying with dreams and not doing anything with it.
And so thank you for asking us that question, Chef Ron, because it is important to be the example. Don't talk about what you can be, but do it so that somebody can see it and then they can operate after it.
And let people know you're not alone.
You're not
the only one dealing with this. God gets the glory.
That's
right.
Yeah.
So there's no reason. God didn't put you through things. He knew you was going to make it through. Okay. And even if you didn't make it through, your story is an example for somebody else to make it through. Because you was the person that they had to learn to, this is how it could end up. If you don't choose you, at some point, because you trying to figure out how to leave, how to get out of the situation, and at some point it can go this way, and this could be could be how it could be, or it could go this way, and it's all up to you.
That part.
Everybody has to make a choice every day that we are blessed to have breath and open our eyes. Absolutely. And it starts with knowing every day how special are you?
Yes.
Because you're one of a kind. That's an affirmation.
Yeah.
Wake up every day and say that as part of your affirmation.
I am one of
one of a kind. I am special.
I am.
Come on now. That confidence. We was talking about confidence. You unstoppable, man. If you have that confidence and you walk into a room, that light is radiating off of you. There's no way.
There's no way. We have a comment. Melissa says we need to stop the violence in school too. Did y'all hear the story on the news this morning of the 6-year-old that shot his teacher? So sad.
Oh, yeah.
And to think what this child missing in his life, to feel like he had to try and kill his teacher and threaten another child. This book is the answer.
Come on,
man. Come on now. And that's the bottom line.
Oh, man.
Because and that's what it is. These kids are in pain. They are in you do not know. You don't know what's going on in the house. You don't know what they're being told every day. You don't know what they're singing every day in the house. Let me give you an example. One of the teachers was telling my husband one time, just recently, that, he was telling the kid, well, where you at? You missed school. And they're in middle school, mind you. He said, I stay home with my baby and my girl. I just stay home today. And he's like, what do I say to the 8th grader who stayed home with his baby and his woman while he was out of school the day before? And he's like, well, I don't even have kids. So how do you relate to that? You know what I mean? Because we don't understand. The 8th grader had a child? The 8th grader have a child. Well, that happens. That's how old is that? Yeah. Well, he did. Yes, he did. So he was on a football team and must have missed something. 8th grade. Jalen is 14, just got in 9th grade. Yeah. So he's like 12, 13. Yeah. Whoa. And it happens. I think one of the most powerful things about Sarah Jakes Roberts is her transparency, because she speaks of being pregnant at 13. So I remember when we had Take Your Daughter to Work Day in New York, and we went to the hospital with Lola, and because she always was in there, and they let us see the book. And there's a book where every baby that's ever born, they wrote it in the date and the time. And there was the youngest person in there was like 9 years old, because I guess she had a period at 8. So, and she had a baby. Back then they had babies young. Yeah. So I don't mean it like that. I'm sure that wasn't supposed to happen, because it was in a time where, the thing is so they are dealing with adult situations, and adults can't deal with their situations. So Twitch took his life. So if we're going to be the examples for kids and teaching them to push past and have faith, freedom after insight, to hide themselves, that they equipped, that they are capable, that they can, that, all of these things, we have to be the example. Because how can you tell me who I can be if you haven't shown up as who you can be? So you are always a representative of God, of what transformation looks like. That's why it's so important. Until you tell your story, God will never get the glory. You are the evidence of transformation. Period. Yeah. And so you have to be evident of what it is and how that looks.
And show up in your specialness.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, that's what Nicole said. When you bounce back, you are stronger. Period. You are. Because you are smarter, you are wiser, you are right. Turn your lessons into blessings.
Come on now, learn from them and bounce back even stronger.
Yes, right. Stop trying to give financial gifts. give knowledge gifts. That's it. I'm telling you. Because they're gonna walk over, it's gonna be over, it's gonna be done. But what did it make that
last a lifetime, right? Because money will get spent, and it's for right now. Right. Mm-hmm. But when you give somebody a book, that's why I like to, and then it's all about, that's a whole nother topic. But man, listen, when I say gifts that mean something, gifts that mean something. You want to say gifts that matter. Book. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna wear them shoes every day, but this book is gonna open up your mind. It's gonna do so much for you, and it's only $15.
And I'm gonna add one more thing, and then you may be the person that says, you know what, my kids is good. They know how special they are. It ain't about you. It's about the kid that is bullying your kid. It's about the kid who nobody said it to.
Well, give it to another child that needs it.
So I just want to relate to you that your kids are going to be in the world with all kids. And if we don't make it our responsibility to become the village now, we are going to leave it up to everybody else who maybe didn't get the tools you had. This is a tool. Correct. This is a tool. This is an instrument that can change the trajectory of our kids' lives. It is a responsibility. I've done my part, but I can't give it to everybody. But I've done my part. But if everybody can do one body, then guess what? Everybody will get done. That's the part. So make it your responsibility. Yes. The ability for you to respond at the measurement that you can. So if you got $15, feed a hungry child. So you have two ways of doing it. You could just donate to the campaign, and those books will just go out to what are we doing? The schools that really can't afford the books. When I go to speak to them, I can give it out in your honor. I can say, well, I want to come speak to the kids, and I can donate this amount of books. Like when we did our conference, we got about people, every ticket, half of the proceeds went to feeding a hungry child. And when we went to West Boulevard Library, I did a program and I was able to give books out in your honor. So now y'all heard it. You know the mission. If you want to be a part of it, please share it, go online, or reach out if you want to do more, because you are in a position to say, well, I'm at a school, we got this budget, we want to do this. I'm at a school, we had to. Listen, the kids matter, and when we start showing up for them, they'll see that we are putting them first. The best part, you could even do it as a baby shower gift, because if you notice, there's a QR code right here on the back, which is me actually reading the book. And so you can actually get the kids from fetus to 5 years old, because those first 4 years are the most essential. And you see these confident kids now is because somebody was affirming them. And so many people take from us, but many people give to us. Be a part of the asset and not a liability. And so if you want to be an asset to the trajectory of what the world is right now, feed a hungry child.
Become an asset with what's going on in the world. And how you can do that is feed a hungry child's soul. Right? Their soul is yearning for care, for love, to know how special they are. Right? You know how we see the post? If nobody had told you I love you today, I love you. You know what that do for somebody? Words have power.
And she said, and look at you now, butterfly. So definitely, my testimony, I didn't know how powerful my testimony was, because, you know, it's like you just doing, you just becoming, you just being. And like I said, because of my gift, I never felt like I guess it was shame. I'm going to be honest. It's shame, right? That's why I have to say and remove the shame and get in your lane. Because everybody was like, oh, yeah, I've been molested. But there's like, how many people said it was my daddy? You don't really hear that. So it's, who is very...
It's important. It's very important because, a lot of people have been molested, but who was the person?
Yeah, so
that takes a whole nother emotional spin, because now we having different conversations.
Yes.
Right? It's the still subject, but the who turns it somewhere else. It's like, oh my gosh.
That part. And I can honestly say, with Chef Ron still on, I hope he's still on, that because of him showing up as a dad that he restored my faith. Right? He restored, he freed me, right? And so if you don't allow it to hinder you, God will send you through, right? And so my kids have the most amazing father, right? And so
they do.
It has been paid forward. And so the sacrifice was not in vain. And because of my pain, it made me extra protective, which I know is why the relationship that I have with them is like that, right? It was my scars that made room for me, right? And so we have to realize that God knows how to get you where he needs to get you sometimes. And we can't change what happened, but we can change how we do it. He will. So my faith got restored in men and trust and all of that, because he gave me my husband, and he didn't wait to give me him. He gave him to me at 19 years old. I was married at 21. So I got to grow in love. And so I put all that in the beginning of 365. But it is letting you know that you won't be left behind, that you will be connected, and God will give you back tenfold. And so, yeah, I didn't got the dream that everybody else got to tell Key all the time. Oh, I called my dad, and it's different. Yeah. And, God rest my father's soul. He passed in 2020, right after, in the heart of the pandemic, in March, at the end of March. So, like, we didn't even get to do, a ceremony, all that. I still have his ashes now. We're going to, do something. Okay. And yeah. Because he, and like I said, I knew him and I loved him. And I saw the shift. That's another conversation, because I saw when crack came in, he changed. And so whatever he was afflicted by, I know every tree has its roots. So I never saw him a monster. I saw him somebody that didn't know how to, how to move in his past the pain into the power. That's why I insist you don't get captured by your experience, but you capture your experience by creating a new storyline. So I was able to capture my experience by saying, you are worth it. You are worthy. God still loves you. You are still of service. You have still value. All of those things matter. And so when I say it to you, I mean it from my soul, because I too had to realize that I mattered. I too had to suffer in silence. So when I say no more sis, it's because I suffered. I went through the process of, sitting in myself, because me and Kia was close to our whole life, and she didn't ever know till I was an adult, right? So it's like, it's something that, you carry and really dwell on you, and you live with it. And, and I had to realize that the shame was not mine to carry. And so I was able to release it. But I remember the first time that I told my husband, he just began to, tears just started falling. I'm thinking, what? What? And he's like, man, you are a superhero. And I'm thinking, so all the time I'm like trying to juggle, and he's like, this girl is crazy. She don't want nobody to watch the kids. She don't want to go nowhere. What is going? This girl is crazy. There's something wrong with her. And all the time, I was suffering in silence. So when I say no more sis, I don't mean girl, women, queen. I mean no more suffering in silence, because we feel shame and we suffer in silence. And God said, but the answer was already there. Put the shame down, honey. So put the shame down and reclaim your spirit. That's why I have a poem in my book, Reclaim Your Spirit. And it's dedicated to people who lost their innocence, and they deserve to get it back. Like, the shame was not yours to carry. No, and so I had to learn that. Stop
carrying loads that you ain't supposed to be carrying. You be carrying stuff too much. And
boy, this got serious, Chef Ron. That was your healing process.
That's what we here for, to have them real conversations. You're going to feel like you in the therapy chair. Like, we laughing, but we talking some real stuff. Yeah. And this is some real stuff.
And we have 57, so we got 3 more minutes. Chef Ron, you want to read that?
There is a lost connection between teachers and students. These kids are not the same. They go through real BS. That's not being talked about. Oh,
that part. And that's why we need these sessions. That's why we need to let them know that
they need an outlet.
See them and being transparent, because we've experienced some things. Ain't nothing new under the sun. I mean, it's a little bit more
right
out in the open, and they're very bold because you have the social media, but the kid that was sneaking is still the kid that's sneaking. The kid that's doing it right is still the kid that's doing it right.
And when they converse amongst each other, they ain't got no guidance, because they only know from their capacity and what they see and what they see on social media. So they ain't getting the real advice. That's why the adults got to step in and come on, start conversing with these kids.
And when the mice are away,
the kids.
When the cat is away, the mouse will play. Sorry. When the cat is away, the mouse would play. And so a lot of times, because we're chasing the dream,
the program
and we don't have
the thing. Like, that's a whole nother topic.
I got I See Me Academy that opens up in February. Get those kids in there too. That doesn't open up until February, the next session.
So good, because when Jalen
they
was able to talk amongst each other, and they feel a space of their peers. Yes. Not that it's adults. So you do kind of hold some stuff in, but when you having a conversation amongst your peers, and just like we all going through stuff. And so when you expose something, now when it's my turn to talk, I can really kind of open up a little bit, because y'all are hearing me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're in the same age bracket. So even if you're younger or whatever, it's like, wow, it's more of a comfort level because, you know, when you around an adult sometimes, it's like, you know, you freeze up a little bit.
That part.
So
absolutely. I really want you to get into my kids' elementary school with the book. I do. That's the mission that we be working on, right?
That's why we need everyone's support so that we could get in these schools. We could get everywhere and anywhere there's kids so that we could let them know how special they are.
Those are, listen, my Romans might be off. Is that Title 4? Is when the B before the
Title
1 is 4?
Title
okay.
4
so Title 4 schools are the schools I want to be able to go in and serve. And that's why I also have a 501c3. So if you want to give
nonprofit,
a high amount, you want to be able to write it off, you get 100% return on your taxes. So you have that option. If you just saying, listen, no big deal, I want to be able to donate or sow a seed and just do that. That's an option. It could be a one-time thing. You could commit to 2 books a month. I don't care what you do, but do something. If everybody is waiting for somebody else to show up, when will we get what we need? The somebody is you. So you are the difference. So when everybody makes a difference, the change will be seen everywhere we go.
Part of the difference.
I love you too. And that's why I had this real quick because I did want to pull a card. You saw me shuffling, right? These are the ABCs of how special I am. This is another affirmation game for the kids that you can order as well. That's going to get their mindset right. I mentor the mindset. Just as
that's what she's all about.
Yeah,
okay,
it's all mindset.
Is I choose me. # no more excuses. So everything that she puts forward is all about choosing you, right? With no more excuses. Enough, sis. Enough suffering in silence. And that's what the mission is all about. So her mind is just creating all these things and how to better your mindset and you as a person, starting from young all the way to adulthood. And if you missed it young, you can still get it now as an adult.
The adult can read.
Because I'm telling you, every time I read this book, I be pumped up like, what you saying? Because you can't say nothing to me because I know how special I am.
And Nicole says that's the word shame. Shame takes your confidence away, period. Yes, Chef Ron, amazing friend as well. Yes, he is.
Yes,
he's preparing you for something.
Is.
Come on, God. Come on, God is preparing you for something, for such a time like that. Remove the shame and
God could not have put
we also
two cousins together.
These
2 right here, they just a fine compliment to each other. It's just like crazy.
We also need to be each other's comfort, period. That
Absolutely.
Part. And we can only be that when we are transparent. And so
it
took me a while to be transparent. And in that, it made it hard on myself. Because had I removed the shame and trusted, have faith in who I was outside of my scars. I was putting makeup on my soul for so long, right? And so, we put makeup on our face to cover that up. I was putting makeup on my soul. And many of us do that. That's why I am the soul doctor. I want to mentor your mindset. I want you to know that you don't have to make up your soul. The soul is what makes you great. It is your intuition. It is that. So you don't have to pretend to be okay when you're not. You don't have to pretend to not have gone through stuff when you did, because God said that you would be the evidence. And it's because of what you went through and how you came out that they will see my glory.
Expose them
until you tell your story, God will never get the glory. And so, I really thank Chef Ron for that, because even while I was doing all the things that I was doing, I'm able to move like I move because I was able to release that burden and realize it was not my scar or my shame to carry. So I love that. I think I want to sign Sophie up for the Academy piece. She's developed anxiety and I've been working hard to help her with it. Maybe this I See Me Academy may help. Absolutely. Because I got some great people. Absolutely. I make everybody write a letter to the Soul Doctor. Every child has to write the Soul Doctor letter. And I explain to them, I will not share it with you parents, and no offense, unless they are comfortable. I need you to trust me with your kids. Trust me, I'm going to take care of them, and I'm going to make sure they know that they are loved, and I'm going to build them into the confidence that they need to be able to speak to you, to explain how they are, because we only get a little bit of time with them before they're on their own ideas and in their own way. And so I want them to know that they can trust you. And so I want to build confidence in them so they can build trust in you. Because as I think that was Nicole that said that confidence is everything. And so when you give them the confidence and you tell them that, listen, all of us go through, I have people on there that been through stuff that talks to them. I have a story to talk to them, right? And so once they realize that God is not picking on them, that it is the process into the promise, and how you get up from it is what makes you so divine. That's it, right? And so being worthy is understanding that you are worth the yes. The Y stands for yes. God says yes. And so we are going to end out. We're going to pull one card for everybody. And whatever this I am is, I want us to operate in it today and remember how special you are. Remember that you matter. And matter takes up space. And so anything that you want to take up space in your life is going to matter. So be mindful of what you allow to dwell. You want to grab the card?
Who you be going with first? Who wanted a card?
Who wanted a card? He's not picking on you. He's picking you up. You know. Well, I said we'll get one card. We'll do a card for the show today and what the I am is. So this is the one
for who? For Melissa?
I am optimistic.
Okay, come on, Melissa.
She is optimistic. That's view. But you know what? I'll let this be everybody's, right? We're gonna do one. Okay. So I am optimistic.
The card for the day.
The card for the day is I am optimistic. And so that's just allowing you to see the stuff as brighter, right? To see it in a better view, to not get caught up in the valley, but to understand the value. So I am optimistic is perfect because it's going to allow you to think above and beyond where you are. Yep. That's faith. Optimistic is having faith, freedom after insight to hire yourself. And so I believe in the best. I'm walking toward the best, and the best is yet to come. And so listen, we gave y'all extra 6 minutes because, honey, this testimonial time.
Go through your day being optimistic. That is your word for the day. So we started your morning off with this great conversation.
Come on. Wake up and make today count.
Come on. So this is how we're going to make it count. We're going to be optimistic. So no matter what comes your way today, remember, I am optimistic. Okay?
Melissa says God has gifts for us that we can't even comprehend, and I am ready to receive. That is a word. This has been an amazing coffee and conversations. We are excited. I'm going to take this shower. I'm done with this guy. We are super excited to have you guys on.
Yes.
I guess I got something waiting for me. A shower waiting. Set that bath. Let's have a soul bath. Ooh, that's another conversation. Because we're going to talk about you celebrating your Sabbath this year. So as we said, we love you, love you, love you. Thank you for the blessed start to the day, ladies. Love you. We love you too. We love you too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember, it is a relay race and somebody is relying on you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave your soul print. Because the fingerprint tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right. And what God got right is you. So remember, you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world. So somebody can find their way out of the darkness, y'all. So we love you. Be optimistic today. Yes. Flip those switches, as Melissa said. Flip those switches. So somebody could find their light. Period. So remember, be faithful. Don't forget to hit the link, the healing app.
Share.
Take
the link and share it amongst your friends, your family, and help us on this mission to get this book to every child we possibly can.
Within our reach. With all of your help, because when people come together, amazing things happen. I got an idea.
What?
So I was reading. I'm doing this real fast. I've been reading, and I got clarity on, the 10%. And then, biblically, it said the 10% was for the poor. You gave 10% back, and there'd be crops and stuff like that. And so we gave 10% to the church, but it was really for the less fortunate. And so God always spoke about being rich and poor. And the rich guy was considered poor because he was talking about the mindset. So give 10%. Whatever your 10%, you can give to feeding a hungry child's soul. And God, I promise you, we're honoring it. Because now we are going to serve poor mindsets in order to make them rich mindsets, in order for us to make a difference in humanity. So give that 10%. If you worked and you're giving it to the church, give it to the mission. Become the village. And let's get these kids on point. Don't complain about them. Let's maintain them. You complain because you can't maintain. Well, here's the maintenance. Ain't no excuses. I choose me. # no more excuses. So how about once this month, if you are a tither, you give 10% to this mission and see how God bless you. I will put it to him.
This will make a difference. Let's see how much of a difference this will make, okay?
That's right. # village time. Don't y'all forget it. Let's be the village. We love you guys.
We love you guys. See y'all in the morning.
Mwah. Love grows everything. So love yourself first.